Hello everybody, I'm Jane Hamilton Parker, a medium. I've just done a reading to quite an amazing lady actually, and she had such a wonderful idea that for her husband's wreath she was going to make a wreath with vegetables and then place it on his grave, and that could feed the animals that came into the cemetery, or afterwards it could be sent to the donkey sanctuary. It had apples, carrots, plums, all kinds of garnet. But I don't know if it had plums because you'd have to take the stones out. But I thought, what a wonderful idea in that, because the husband loved animals, and rather than put it in a cemetery where the deer come in and eat everything, that she could give it to the donkey sanctuary and of course take all the cocktail sticks out. I thought that's a lovely idea. What a wonderful idea. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about the golden age. As Mr. Donald Trump says, we're going in the golden age. And I think a lot of it is true actually, because at the moment it seems very dark forces, and it seems like Mother Nature is very menopausal at the moment, and we've got exactly like what the Bible says. We've got floods, fires, and we've got all nature destroying by man. And it's like, eventually one wonders if we go back to the very much ice age. And because we're having terrible things at the moment in the year 2025, we've got stabbings taking place, we've got killing of children through other people stabbing them and planning it, and it seems very dark forces at the moment, very demonic forces. And I had done a reading for somebody that was, I won't mention the name, in the police force, and their hands are tied. They can't really intervene because all this woke business and all this diversity and everything, and it's awkward for them. But if Mr. Trump can sort out the immigration problem in one day, then surely this government can also do the same, because we're having all these sort of things come to the surface where people are doing wrong things, and perhaps it's their karma being shown for what they're doing, and that there's still beautiful people in the world as well, and there's still lovely highly spiritual masters and people trying to show people the way, like lovely gurus, rishis, and holy people, and like the Dalai Lama. And it's like, there's awakening that's going to happen, definitely, because I feel as we go into the summer months, though I see riots that are going to happen in London and different things and tragedies, and we're seeing more aircrafts and that crashes and everything, it must be a clearing on the planet, that we've got to go through realization and have non-attachment to highly material things, because we can't take them with us. And as I said before, the highest thing we can have is love and your health. That's your wealth. But you see, it seems to me that nature's crying out as well. But I mean, all these housing developments and fields and everything, where's those animals going to go? And then we've got everybody trying to reach, or Mr. Musk trying to create that everyone can go to Mars and things like this. And there's meant to be other dimensions that are going to be exposed to us, which will be true. This will be true. But the way things are going, it's like we can't think for ourselves anymore. And it's like, is there a lot going on behind the scenes that we're not aware of? I think there is. And it's like, where is all our information going from? Face recognition, iPhones, Facebook, TikTok, and all these things. Where's our information going to? It's like, if you were to look at something on Facebook because you were interested in a particular item, might be a pair of shoes, suddenly all shoe adverts come up. So it's quite daunting to think that. But leading a spiritual life is leading a good life. And as I said to many people, you don't have to belong to any particular religion, because all prayers go to the same source, do they not? It doesn't make people better than anybody else because they go to church on a Sunday. Sometimes it's for show. Your prayers should start in your own temple with your heart, and for reaching out, helping others. I see many tragedies in my line of work many things that people have suffered, and they always seem to come through it with a different attitude and become more spiritual and accepting. Sometimes people might be rushed into a hospital that have had emergency heart surgery, and the wife or the husband have a feeling that that person's going to go and they want to say goodbye, and suddenly a nurse will push them aside. No, we're busy, out the way, and things like that. But then, as I say to them, oh, at least you were in the building. You're in a building. The lady just told me that her husband been in hospital the last 5 years in and out, and the last time he was in hospital before he died, he said he could see people from the other side and friends that he had known at school and everything. And I said, well, it might be that the spirit world were preparing him for that journey, and so he's aware. And I said, it always seems to be the sweetest, nicest people that like are surrendering and are very knowing. And you know, it's the way how people treat people here. It's not very nice, and that's why I think positive energy, positive thoughts create positive things. It's like at the moment it feels like the planet's got very dark forces and things, and people think it's their right and entitlement to so many things, but we can change it. All us women in the universe, in this world, can change it. We can do that all sticking together. When we'll stick together, you know, and you see people struggling at the moment, food prices and bills and everything like that, and still this government's trying to take more from them. Well, why don't they show example and just have reduce their wages and just take half the wages, put their money back in the economy and things? It's all about I first take notice of me and that, but we can all look at people and that, and we see like the old people suffering. The winter allowance has stopped, and those people that have saved all their lives and have paid a full national insurance stamp, then they've got to pay taxes again because they're savers. So you're punishing the wrong people. But spiritually, I feel we have good thoughts and we think good actions, and good things do come. It does work out eventually. But you see, many incarnations it takes for masters or ascending masters or gurus or holy people to come and show people the way. You see, people are responsible for their actions. And I often wondered, is anybody born a psychopath? Is anybody born with all these different angers in the heart? And the answer is yes, they are, but they have to use their own free will. And, you know, it's got real dark times now, and it's dark forces around. But we can clear that through good thoughts, good energy, and love, and be strong. Be very, very strong in this life. The more we're stronger, the more things happen for us. And it takes a special person to see through all these things. And I feel at the end of the day, if all women stuck together and helped one another, we'd have a better world. Not saying that men shouldn't stick together, but, you know, it's all about materialism at the moment. I mean, a shroud has no pockets, does it? We're all passing through paying ground rent one way or another. But, you know, what's going to happen in years to come? Are we going to be wiped out by, is humanity going to be wiped out by robots and all this technology? Quite daunting, isn't it, to think that? But there's so many people doing good service. I mean, a policeman does a good service, an ambulance driver does good service, a doctor does good service, a nurse does good service. Kind people do good service, helping those less fortunate. And it's more kindness and love we need in this century. But unfortunately, we're always going to have somebody that's greedy and wants more. But, you know, that's all they've got is greed. And that's all they've got is money. And they haven't got people that love them, truly that loves them. You know, money can say hello and it can say goodbye. But whoops, it's like my earphones saying goodbye. But when we think positive thoughts and we're thinking about the golden age is coming. Believe you me, it is coming. This is going to be a year of realization and have non-attachment to dark things, but to sort things out. It doesn't mean that people can get away with things, because I believe in karma, and I believe that people have done wrong. Every action on God's earth is accountable for. So people that have done bad things, they will be accounted for. And the thing is, with this country, England at the moment, it doesn't feel like our country anymore. And I often think of all those poor people that fought in the war, First World War and Second World War, for us to have liberty. And those people that really need help here, that doesn't get their help. What is happening to our country? What is happening at the moment? Perhaps sometimes we have to have all these clearings to bring all good things in and everything. And I've often said, if I was in charge of the country, I'm afraid those people, illegal people coming in, they'd be microchipped. And those people that done terrible things for children, not chemically castrated, but castrated and put on an island that can never escape from. And so they have a life of misery. And those people that have been kind and help others, that they would, know what it's like to be loved and do good things. But at the moment, what the world is changing so rapidly, and people are wanting more. I remember Sharavana Baba said we all came from Mars, so perhaps Mr. Musk has got something there going. And I take it back, when he was a child, he probably was into Star Wars and things like that, where he's got his ideas. And this man's worked extremely hard for things, and he's a visionary. That's what he is, a visionary. But even visionaries, sometimes it doesn't always work, but he's got visionary. I mean, when I was a little girl, we thought that cars were going to fly around anyway in the sky and everything. You take the Chinese people, they're quite advanced. They build cities upon cities, and they're quite advanced and things. And, if you want to really get in on life, then you've got to work hard at it, really hard. I mean, we've got good yoga teachers that teach yoga to wellness things for people. And we've got people that do meditation to help people. We've got wonderful healers. And we have got gifted people that can show people the way. But it always gets stopped karmically along the line for a reason. It's good to tune into our higher self. It's good to be somebody that can teach. It's good to really develop people for the power of good. But it's not about greed. It's about doing service for mankind. And I feel at the end of the day, it's like predictions and everything. We can see all these events happening and coming, but there's nothing we can do to stop it. And sometimes these things need clearing, very much so. And recently we saw the tragedy in Washington where the aircraft came down, and I believe 60 people lost their lives. And there's some gifted people on that plane. Things all happen for a reason. And the good thing in this life, when you wake up, every day is a blessing. Every day you should try and do a good action if you can. So you men, get the hoovers out and do a good action if you can. Or a duster, do a good action. Payback time, hey? Yeah, but we should all work together as one. And as I say, there's many religions in this world, but all prayers go to the same source. There's good people and there's bad people. So we've got to have a balance, the yin and the yang. And it's the same like with the spiritual work too. There's good spiritualists, there's good mediums, there's good channelers, there's good healers. And then there's the corrupt ones that make it bad for the genuine ones. So everything is accountable and every action. Now we are going to go in the golden age, and we're just the start of it. And I would say going to November when things start happening, and we'll go through an age that life can be an illusion at times, but we're going to go through an age that it seems that things are coming together, and that the golden age brings us hope. It brings us less troubled times, and it makes the humanity suddenly go through realization and why we're here. What is the bigger picture? What can we do to change things for the children of the future? I will say I was quite impressed that this Mr. Musk, I call him, has the love of children, and so that's good. And you can come on that childlike energy, which is good. I couldn't say I agree with all his ideas, because sometimes I think some people can be on the edge of things, but I can see where he's coming from, and he's a visionary, but a visionary with technology to try and make it. Man is always search for God, and man is always search to change the world and go to the planets and moon and things. And though it's taken thousands and thousands of years and many incarnations, will man achieve that in the end? We'd like to think so, but for the power of good. But money is an illusion as well. It can pay the bills and that, but money to live in great big stately places and great big Rolls Royces and all technology, it's an illusion. It's a different world. Living here on the earth is test. Is it all an illusion? There's different worlds and there's different planets that man hasn't touched yet. There's different life forms, very much so, life forms, but it's not as man perceives it. Every thought that goes out to etheric are real thoughts. If we think of somebody that's ill and we send out a prayer for they're hoping to get better and less pain, that's a good energy. But if we give out negative thoughts to people and hate them and jealousy, that's a dark demonic force. Jealousy is a sin. But if we carry on with life, surround ourselves with positive energy, positive people, then it comes good. If you're walking down the street and you see someone, you smile, it makes them feel good. If you see somebody looking at you and you can see all jealousies around, walk away. You don't have to go into that zone. You don't want to go into negative energy. We want to be with positive people. Animals could teach us a thing or two because they can see auras and they can see around people. They can see illnesses and they know who's good and good people. And, and they never seem to amaze me because their vibration's quite high and their perceptions are quite high. And I think in this world what's lacking now is compassion, love, bliss and joy. And that's what we all need. Bliss, joy, love, compassion, kindness, and all come together as one. That's why the golden age is so important. Many visionaries, many masters, sending masters, many gurus, rishis, many sages have predicted this, and this is where it all starts now. It's going to be a tough journey this year, but then we'll find that we're going the right direction. So stay on course for that right direction. Be positive in everything that you do. Don't harm anybody. Serve all, love all. That's what Sai Baba says, and I think that's right. It doesn't mean you're a walkover. My mantra that I say to my girls is, think like a man, be a woman, but be like a tigress and be strong. And very much be very knowing vibration. We cannot be judgmental on any human being that lives, that has suffered, but a bit of suffering for all of us does good actions, good things, that we can reach out to people and we can feel what they feel. Now the golden age is meant to be, it's like the promised land really, isn't it? Going back to the Bible. But the golden age is when enlightenment has to come to the planet and has to come from many sources, from different vibrations in different universals, powerful universals, and this has happened. Now, we've been watched for many, many centuries on Mother Earth. I know Mother Earth now bleeds, going through menopause and cries and that, but we are being subject to all different things at the moment. But we are being watched. There are other life forces that watch us, that watch over us and protects us. And that, but there are other life forces as well that people will not quite understand at the moment, but they will in the golden age. And the golden age has got to be a very powerful age, because all through centuries there's always been disharmony, corruption in different forces. But the most thing is to stay strong, very strong, and face things. Every day is a blessing. Every day is a blessing. And this world needs it at the moment to go through the golden age and that. And I like how Trump, people don't like Trump and some do, but I like he says what he means. We sort out. It's like England needs sorting out, and that they don't want fakey promises or that to sort out our country. And for the people that really need help here should be given that help, rather than just figures or ratings in television, or just say, look what I've done. And it's, we've got to think of what our forefathers went through for why we're here. And the thing is, at the end of the day, we cannot wipe history out. History has a habit of repeating itself. It's like a cycle. It goes round, a cycle all the time. So we are coming in the golden age. It's going to be a rough journey, but it will be all right in the end through God's grace. I'm going to stop there because I do need to drink my tea. But if any of you are interested or want to connect with me, then please come through to this channel, and then I will answer some of your questions. So this will be a channel really for spiritually minded people. It's a channel to help others and reach others. And I want to say to you that if you're doing service and doing the right service for God, be a healer, be a yoga teacher, be a clairvoyant or a medium, and stay on that pathway. Stay on that pathway, because we're going through the golden age. Okay? God be with you, God look after you, God protect you, and God look after you. Blessings to all of you.